Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So tonight, let's talk about $30 trillion flowing into Bitcoin if this happens. What's going to happen? Well, let's talk about it. And let's talk about what happened today. I think we got a weird fake out today as well. So let's talk about that. Welcome. So what do I mean by fake out? Well, this morning we got some good inflation reading, some CPI data that showed pretty, things were improving. Inflation in the U.S. coming down, asterisk, because many things still went up. Mostly it's energy related, gasoline, fuel, stuff like that went down. Used cars went down. Things that were limited by supply went down, but everything else, commodities, general food, services, still was higher. But anyway, CPI did overall come down. This morning, it looked like it was going to be very, very, very green, but it barely went up. Okay, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. Usually after CPI reading, something like this does happen. The pre-market for tomorrow is kind of mixed. Bitcoin also appeared that it was going to skyrocket and then kind of settle down, and now we're just kind of back to where it was yesterday. So you could see it's very, very flat, right? So that's what I mean about a fake out this morning. It did look like we were going to get a lot more, but with inflation reading, really nothing happened. But maybe this explains it. Maybe this explains why Bitcoin didn't go up, because this was found. Remember, the U.S. Justice Department, they held 50,000 Bitcoins they confiscated from the Silk Road, right? And today, it appears that 10,000 of it was moved. 10,000 Bitcoins is a lot. $300 million. Now, we don't know for sure where it's going. It seems like it's being separated. It's being mixed across multiple wallets. So maybe this scared people a little bit. Okay. So out of the 50,000, there's 10,000 that was already liquidated. So this is 10,000 out of the 40,000 that remains, which is still a lot. And why would the Justice Department want to sell now? Why not wait until Bitcoin is like 200,000? They could use some of that extra money, right? But this did come out today, so maybe this scared people a little bit in terms of, well, if they sell or we go drop below 30,000 or whatever. Last time this happened, we did see a little dip and then we recovered right away. So I don't expect anything big to happen, but we'll see. And there's no guarantees that they're selling. Maybe they're just moving and spreading across and giving themselves a nice bonus. Who knows? It's people are tracking it. It's going through a lot of wallets, not just being moved from one to another. It's being moved to like a lot of wallets. So maybe it's just a nice bonus for its employees. I don't know. As for on-chain metrics, right? A lot of people are still looking at on-chain metrics, trying to study it, trying to figure out Bitcoin's next move. Right now, it does appear we are in that accumulation period once again, which is why Bitcoin is so solid, so steady, right around $30,000. That's okay. This is part of the metric that shows we're at the same equilibrium point as 2016 and 2019, right before Bitcoin started heading higher. Okay, what is the equilibrium? Well, about 75% of supply is in profit right now, and 25% is in loss. So vast majority of Bitcoin holders right now are in the green, right? But whenever you have the 75 to 25% balance, that's when things start moving, okay? Back in 2016, Bitcoin was only $425. Back in 2019, Bitcoin was only at $6,500. And right now, at our equilibrium point, we're at $30,000. So think about that. Remember, every cycle, we form higher lows. Okay, so for people that are panicking about 30,000, just remember, 2019, we were as low as $3,000. And the cycle before that, 2016, In 2015, in fact, we fell to $160. Okay, so Bitcoin is definitely gaining strength every single cycle, and I don't believe this is going to stop, especially with all the institutions that are jumping in, right? So again, this is pretty good overall. Another reason why we need to stay steady and hold and DCA while we can. Now, what about that $30 trillion? What's going to cost $30 trillion to come into the space? Am I making it up? Well, no. I saw this. This is coming from a Bloomberg ETF analyst. Okay, so this is coming out of Bloomberg. A lot of you guys have heard of Bloomberg and a Bloomberg terminal, right? I mean, this is coming straight from one of their analysts that claims that once we get a Bitcoin spot ETF and once we get more, 30 trillion will flow into cryptos. Okay, that's a large number. Okay, the ETF, to quote, the ETF is the format that boomers and financial advisors prefer their investments to be delivered in, meaning the older generation and the wealth advisors and financial advisors, the institutions, they rather just buy ETF than deal with physical or real Bitcoin because there's a lot of things to worry about. They rather just buy an ETF, right? So that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, according to him, before BlackRock's application, he thought there was only a 1% chance that a spot Bitcoin ETF will be approved. Now he thinks it's more like 50%. And to quote, these are very smart people and they don't just apply on their own. They're clearly seeing something they think they could get through the regulators. Again, we're talking about BlackRock, the largest asset manager on the planet. So that makes sense. They're not just going to keep applying to get rejected. They're working their magic behind the scenes, pulling the strings. And Gary probably received a call or two from Larry Fink saying, hey, you need to make this happen, right? So $30 trillion sitting on the sidelines or from other investments that could potentially come in to the space just from spot Bitcoin ETFs being approved. Massive. Keep in mind, the entire crypto market cap is barely over $1 trillion. Now you times it by 30 and it's actually even higher than that because as people FOMO in, there's going to be leverage, there's going to be all this stuff. I mean, it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. But before that happens, what about Coinbase? All these Bitcoin spot ETF providers are going to use Coinbase as their surveillance partner and as his custodian. Well, today they said, you know what? They will defend themselves against the SEC. They are going to court tomorrow. Okay, it's a preliminary trial. Basically, they're going to argue that the SEC have overstepped and still refuses to answer their question of how to properly define security tokens. Okay, so Coinbase is not going to go anywhere. They will fight the good fight as well. And we know Ripple is also fighting a good fight right now. And many others hopefully will join in. And again, if the SEC loses any of these cases, it's going to also be very bullish for an entire space because I don't think anyone likes Gary Gensler at this point. What else is going on? As for Coinbase, they add a messaging feature in their wallet. A lot of you guys don't know. Self-custody obviously is important, but Coinbase does have their own wallet that's outside of Coinbase Exchange. And this messaging function will allow any two Ethereum addresses to talk to each other. So it's like Telegram or WhatsApp, but using ETH addresses. Kind of interesting. I have not played around with it, but interesting feature. And you think about it, it makes a whole lot of sense too. But entering someone's like ETH addresses, that's a pain in the butt. All right. Now on to some other news relating to some tech companies and what's going on. A lot of you guys know that Elon and Mark, they're fighting it out. Elon also doesn't like Open AI because he actually founded them, left, and he doesn't like how they're all for profit now, right? So Elon is also launching his own new AI company called XAI, which will be for the betterment of humanity, not for profit, which is kind of interesting. We already have Bard from Google. We got ChatGPT from OpenAI. And now we're going to have XAI, and we'll see how this compares. But how does this relate to crypto? Well, of course, there's a lot of projects in crypto that are trying to dab into AI and try to, offer new services, right? So FetchAi is one of them. I thought this is kind of funny and interesting. And they tweeted this out. Imagine pulling into an electric charging station and all you have to do is plug in your vehicle and then drive away. Payments handled autonomously between charging station, AI agent, and your car's agent based on how much power you draw. Agents can enable this. Well, the funny thing is, because if you have a Tesla, that's exactly what the Tesla supercharger does already. But I think what they're trying to make the point is they have these AI agents, and you can program the AI agents to do anything. Right, so in this scenario, it could be a non-Tesla. It could be, I don't know, it could be a Bolt or Jolt or a Hummer or anything else, right? You can program the AIs to be very smart and do whatever, right? So I think that's what they were going after. But, there's other companies in the space trying to dab with AI, right? I've seen a lot of projects that's not out yet that's really focused on data analytics, trying to scan the blockchains and trying to learn behaviors and automatically apply certain algorithm to those behaviors. And certain companies are trying to target, let's say, ads to certain type of users. I mean, there's a lot of things that's being done right now with AI or machine learning. So not quite there yet. And some games I've also talked to is starting to use AI as well to computer generate or basically AI generate weapons, right, based on what you want. You could enter and it just does it. So there's a lot of cool stuff. Anyways, moving on. Microsoft, of course, owns 49% of ChatGPT and OpenAI. But in the meantime, they closed their Activision merger, which a lot of you guys, you guys play their games. I don't have that much time for games. I play some Diablo 4 now, but Diablo 4 is part of Activision, and World of Warcraft and all this stuff is part of it. So the FTC was trying to stop them, right? The federal judge said no, they could go ahead and close it. And then I saw this article right afterwards saying FTC is going to appeal it. I don't know why the FTC wants to appeal this, but it almost seems like they're trying to act like Gary Gensler, SEC. But how this relates is, well, I saw this in terms of Microsoft. They are also very pro crypto. They're trying to get involved with different things. Here's one where they announce that, they're in a multi-relationship with GameStop. But you know what? GameStop, right, is involved with many projects. For example, Immutable X. Also, they just formed a relationship with Illuvium, right, to offer NFTs. So Microsoft is dabbing in also into crypto, and we'll see how ChatGPT gets integrated with a lot of these games and so forth. But yeah, a lot of these games that's been hyped up for years. I remember Illuvium back from 2017, 2018. Right, so they've come out with a lot of mini games. They're full-fledged game. I think it's about to come out, but in the meantime, they're partnering up with GameStop, offering their NFTs, right? And who knows what else is coming from this. So good for Illuvium. And then, of course, the other AI provider, Google. Well, they're changing their policy. So now, Apple made a big deal about this, right? But Google is going the different direction. Any apps within Google Play, right, can offer NFTs and tokenized digital assets. So that's pretty good. With Apple, they frown upon this, but Google is going a different direction, saying, hey, okay, we understand that there's going to be a lot of Web3 projects coming on board, so let's allow them to do what they're supposed to do, which is offer NFTs and tokens, basically, right? So this allows, like, gaming projects like Gods Unchained to start expanding, right? A lot of Web3, pure Web3 games can now move to Web2 and mobile because of some of these changes from these platform makers, right? Or platforms in general. So, pretty soon in the future, you're going to download a game in Google App or the App Store, the Apple App Store, and you're not even going to know that you're playing a Web3 game. You're playing a Web2 game, right? But really it's Web3, and then you'll see that they integrate tokens or NFTs, a wallet, right? I think slowly we're going to see more and more of that. First, create a really fun game, then layer in Web3 concepts, right? So we'll see a lot more of that in the future. All right, that is pretty much it. Today's pretty, it's not bad, it's not good. It's a solid neutral day, let's just say, 30,400. The entire market cap is still 1.18 trillion. Again, not good, not bad. But overall, I'm waiting for this $30 trillion to flow into crypto and Bitcoin soon. All right, let's do some Q&A. Oh yeah, today is DCA day. Let me log into here. It's been a while. Seems like it's been a while, but not really. I remember doing it last week. All right, so I got my portfolio up. Hey, down slightly. I mean, actually gained slightly. 1 week, no, down slightly. 1 week minus 1%. I thought it went down a little bit, but overall 1 month still up about 16%. 3 months down 8%. 6 months up 32%. Overall up from the bottom. But yeah, overall still down about 30%. That's okay. While we're still low, good time to be accumulating, right? I have not given any thought what I'm going to DCA today. Last week I did a little Bitcoin. I remember I did a little Cosmos. I think maybe, I like to stick with my L1s, L2s, like VeChain, Avalanche, Arbitrum. These could all be Pepe. Maybe I put something into Pepe. FetchAi, just covered them today. I feel like I'm missing something here. Let's see. I have XRP in here. Yeah, XRP is I'm pretty loaded with XRP here. BNB. Yeah, pretty loaded with BNB. Let's see. What do I not have that I like? Immutable X is not bad. I just covered, GameStop. They have a partnership with Immutable X. Immutable X is also, there's a lot of NFT projects, a lot of NFT games also on Immutable X. I think the bull run will do well. Pepe down slightly. I think Pepe's going to do very well too in the bull run. I don't quite know. I feel like going degen and just, adding some like low cap, but I don't feel like it's the right time. I think I'm going to add, I like Avalanche a lot. I think I'll add a little more Avalanche. I'm going to add a little bit more into Arbitrum. And for fun, I'm going to add a little into Pepe. I'm just going to divide it 3 ways. So let's do some Avalanche. So $33 divided by 12.963. 2.545. Okay. Oh, shoot, it logged out, I think. It logged out. All right, let's try that again. 2.545. Okay. And then a little more into Arbitrum. So 1.12, 29.46. And then let's go a little degen, and let's add a little Pepe here. .123401. That's a lot, man. I just $33 could buy 33 million. 33 million. All right. So this week, a little Pepe, little Arbitrum, little Avalanche. And we'll see. We'll see what next week brings. MT, I was complaining about my iPhone camera. I was just at the house. And I was filming something that's not good. But then the footage is so bad I can't use it. So the house is coming along, but there's some major problems in that sports court, so I'll cover in the future. Let's see. Did I miss anything while I was DCing? What about the strap-on coin? Can someone make it happen? Making a coin is actually very easy. When is the next rate hike? It's coming up pretty soon. Let's see. The 26th. So 14 days, 2 weeks. There's a 92% chance we're going to get another 25 basis points. So even with today's inflation number going down, there will be another inflation reading tomorrow. So we'll see what that says. But kind of expected that to go down a little more, but unfortunately it didn't. The good thing is DXY started coming down in a big way. DXY is 100.5, which is lower than this morning. If we could break below 100, that is a point we haven't seen in a very long time, and also very, very bullish. Do you see any 100 to 1,000x potential coins? Yes. Yes. Every cycle there is 100x coins. There's a few smaller early stage projects that I do advise for. So I'm part of their team. Some of them I think could do 100x. But I don't want to say who they are yet because I don't want people to just like all of a sudden FOMO into them. I want to let them grow. Let them mature a little bit. Orange Lambo, what's your prediction on Ethereum for 2024? Well, 2024, I think it's going to be a great year. If Bitcoin ends at 120,000 by the end of 2024, That's what, 4x from here. So Ethereum probably 8x. So if that happened, Ethereum would probably be like $12,000. Okay, so Bitcoin ends up at 120 by the end of 2024. Ethereum will probably be like 12 to 15,000. So that's my prediction, end of 2024. Is it possible to review the Zen ecosystem? There's so much going on there. A former Google engineer is behind Zen Crypto. Why don't you review it and let me know how it is? You know, you could just ask. You could just ask Bard, right? Right now, it's not looking too hot. 15 million. It's on KuCoin. Where's the... I hate how they changed their thing. Okay, this went nowhere. It's a liquid supply. It's a liquid staking provider, I'm assuming, because it's looking at all the liquid supplies of all these chains. I have no idea what they do. It seems like they're a liquid staking provider. Now I just closed it. Okay. There's that. Do you think algo will bounce back from this downturn? Yes, but very slowly. Very slowly. That SEC declaration is going to be hard to overcome. Declaration that algo is a security. So that's going to hinder them for quite some time. Would you buy a HUD-8 mining company after a recent CEO press release? What did they say? Didn't they try to merge with someone? They were trying to merge because, I don't know, financial issues or something. Is it time to dump HUD-8 after it's up 15%? I don't know what they said. I don't know. Mining, Mara and Riot both got a boost because Vanguard bought them 2 days ago. But I don't know how that relates to HUD-8. Maybe they got a boost from that, but I don't know what their CEO said. Any updates on XRP? It's my gamble degen play right now. XRP is not a degen play. It's number 6 on CMC. It's worth $25 billion. That's not a degen play, okay? No, there's no update. If there was, the price would be moving, okay? That's how you can tell. If XRP starts pumping really a lot, then that means good news is here. Life will be boring without altcoins. That's true. Right now, Bitcoin, definitely the big daddy, you know, leading away, the strongest by far, right? But when the parabolic bull run comes, that's when all the other alts will really start moving quite a lot. Quite a lot. I got 5K. What should I do? First of all, spread it out. I would say, not financial advice, but if I had 5K, I would spread it out 5 ways. You know, utilize 1K and get in. If I don't have anything, I would definitely start with Bitcoin, right? And then start researching some of these other projects, especially the ones I've been covering and DCing, right, like Ethereum and BNB and XRP Cardano, right, start researching, see what you like, start dabbing into those slowly over time, but always keep about 1,000 out of that 5,000 on the side in case you need DCA in the future, right? About 20, 25, 30% in cash. I think that's a really good idea these days, right? So you can continue to use that to DCA or buy the dips. And it's also good for profit taking. As things go up and you notice your cash pile dwindle, that's when you take out money. Blur, Lazaro, I can't tell you about Blur. I'm not an NFT degen guy, right? A lot of people hate Blur because basically it's to like liquidate floor price of the NFTs. That's what it was explained to me. So it's like a competition to see like who would get liquidated or something. Some kind of gamification built in for NFTs, and a lot of like hardcore NFT OGs hate Blur. So I'm not into that. So I can't really comment on all those things, but I just know a lot of NFT OGs do not like it, and they get liquidated because of it. Oh, all right, guys. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Today's CPI number kind of faked people out. It faked me out too. Thought there would be a bigger pump today. Really not. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Maybe because people got scared due to this. Maybe another $300 million is going to be sold, or maybe not. But we do have Bloomberg saying $30 trillion will be flowing into crypto once we get a spot Bitcoin ETF. I'm waiting for that to happen. All right. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.